6 people walked into a cave that had been sealed from the outside world for 5.5 million years. They never came back. And 27 years later, a piece of their equipment turned up in a place that should be physically impossible to reach. I need you to sit with that for a moment. Not the disappearance itself. People vanish in caves, and while it's always tragic, it's not always mysterious. What I need you to sit with is the geometry. The mathematics of stone. Because according to every survey, every map, every laser measurement taken of this cave system over 3 decades of scientific study, there is no passage connecting where those 6 people entered and where that carabiner was found. None. The rock between those 2 points is solid. Unbroken. It has been solid and unbroken for longer than our species has existed. And yet, let me take you to the southeastern edge of Romania, to a stretch of coastline along the Black Sea where the land is flat, dry, and unremarkable. A few kilometers west of the port city of Mangalia, there is a barren field. No signs. No markers. Nothing to indicate that beneath this thin crust of earth lies one of the most extraordinary places on the planet. Muval Cave was discovered accidentally in 1986 when workers testing the ground for a potential power plant site broke through into a shaft. What they found below defied comprehension. This was not simply a cave. This was an entire ecosystem, a living world that had been completely sealed off from the surface, from sunlight, from rain, from atmospheric oxygen, for approximately 5.5 million years. When the Miocene sea retreated from this region, it left behind a pocket of air and water that was entombed in limestone, and slowly, impossibly, life continued. Not photosynthetic life. Nothing down there had seen the sun since before the first humans walked upright. Instead, the organisms in Muval Cave run on chemosynthesis. Bacteria feed on hydrogen sulfide and methane bubbling up from deep thermal vents. Those bacteria form the base of an entire food chain. There are spiders down there that exist nowhere else on Earth. Leeches. Water scorpions. 35 species found in Muval Cave have never been documented anywhere else in the known world. They evolved in total isolation, in total darkness, breathing air that would kill you and me, air that is only 7 to 10% oxygen, laced with methane and hydrogen sulfide at concentrations that burn the lungs. Fewer than 100 people have ever been allowed inside. Entry requires government authorization, specialized breathing equipment, and a multi-chamber airlock system designed to prevent contamination of the cave's atmosphere. Muval is not a place you wander into. It is one of the most restricted natural environments on Earth. Which makes what happened in August of 1996 all the more difficult to understand. The expedition was sanctioned. That's the first thing you need to know. This was not a group of reckless amateurs trespassing in a sealed cave. The 6 members, 4 Romanian nationals and 2 Hungarian citizens, all experienced amateur speleologists, had obtained proper clearance through the Romanian Academy's Speleological Institute. They were part of a broader survey effort to map peripheral passages that had been identified on sonar but never physically explored. The primary goal was a lateral passage designated LP-7 on survey documents, a narrow horizontal crack in the limestone that extended west-northwest from the main accessible chamber. Sonar suggested it opened into a wider space after approximately 40 meters, but no human had ever entered it. The 6 entered LP-7 on the morning of August 14th. They carried 8 hours of supplemental air, standard caving equipment, and a hardline communication wire that they were meant to unspool behind them to maintain contact with the surface team. For the first 90 minutes, communication was normal. The passage was tight but navigable. At approximately 11:40 in the morning, the team leader reported that the passage had widened significantly and that they were entering what he described as a substantial chamber. He noted that their instruments showed the air composition was different from the main cave, even lower oxygen, higher concentrations of an unidentified gas their portable sensors couldn't classify. His last recorded transmission, at 11:51, was 7 words, "The walls here are wrong. Returning now." The communication wire went slack 4 minutes later. Not severed, slack. as if someone had carefully unclipped it. They never emerged. The surface team waited the full 8 hours, then an additional 4. A recovery team entered LP-7 at just past midnight on August 15. They followed the communication wire for 36 meters before finding its end. The clip was open. Not broken, not frayed. Deliberately unclipped and placed neatly on the cave floor. Beyond that point, the passage continued for another 12 meters and then simply ended. A solid wall of limestone. No chamber. No widening. No continuation of any kind. 36 meters of passage, then a dead end. But the team had reported traveling well beyond that point. They had described a large chamber. They had been communicating coherently for 90 minutes from beyond the point where the passage apparently stops. Here are the 5 things that no official investigation has ever been able to explain. 1. The sonar readings taken before the expedition clearly showed the passage extending at least 80 meters, with a significant void, a chamber, at the far end. Sonar readings taken after the disappearance show a passage of 36 meters ending in solid rock. The equipment was tested and found to be functioning correctly both times. 2. The communication wire. The team was transmitting from somewhere. Voice analysis of the recordings confirms the audio characteristics are consistent with a large enclosed space, not a narrow crawl. The team leader was speaking from a room. A room that, according to every physical measurement, does not exist. 3. The air composition data transmitted during the expedition included readings of a gas that has never been identified. It does not match any known atmospheric compound. The Speleological Institute classified the readings as instrument error, but 3 independent analyses of the raw data have confirmed the readings were consistent and precise, not anomalous spikes. 4. The communication wire was unclipped, not cut, not pulled. Someone stopped, opened the carabiner gate, removed the wire, and set it down. This is not something that happens accidentally. This is not something that happens in a panic. 5. The last transmission. The walls here are wrong. Not, the walls are closing in. Not, there's been a collapse. Wrong. The word choice has haunted researchers for nearly 3 decades. What does it mean for walls to be wrong? The Romanian authorities sealed LP-7 with reinforced concrete on September 3, 1996. The official report classified the 6 as lost to geological hazard, passage collapse. But the passage didn't collapse. It was there. 36 meters of it. And then stone. As if the cave had simply decided that was where it ended now. For 27 years, that was the entirety of the story. 6 people, a dead end that shouldn't be a dead end, and a concrete plug. Muval Cave continued to operate as a research site, and the incident faded from public discussion, mentioned only occasionally in Romanian caving forums and a few scattered academic footnotes. Then, in March of 2023, everything changed. A biospeleologist, I am withholding her name at her request, was conducting a study on extremophile sulfur oxidizing bacteria in a section of the cave's hydrogen sulfide lake. This lake sits in the deepest accessible portion of Muval, approximately 23 meters below the surface, well to the east of LP-7. She was collecting samples from a partially submerged shelf when she noticed something metallic in the sediment. She recovered it carefully, assuming it was a piece of dropped research equipment. It was a climbing carabiner. Black Diamond brand, an oval locking gate model consistent with mid-1990s production. It was coated in a thin biofilm of bacterial colonies that, based on growth rate analysis, had been accumulating for approximately 20 to 30 years. Etched into the spine of the carabiner were 2 initials matching one of the 6 missing explorers. The chamber where it was found is separated from LP-7 by more than 60 meters of solid, unbroken limestone. There is no passage connecting them. There has never been a passage connecting them. The rock between those 2 points has been geologically stable for millions of years. Core samples confirm this. There is no fissure, no micropassage, no water channel, nothing large enough for a carabiner to pass through, let alone a human being. And yet someone's carabiner traveled from one place to the other. When this finding was reported to the Romanian Academy, the response was immediate and, some would argue, disproportionate. Access to the sulfuric acid lake was suspended. The biospeleologist was asked to sign a non-disclosure agreement, which she did, though she has since spoken to select researchers under conditions of anonymity. Most notably, the concrete seal on LP-7 was inspected and found to be intact. Whatever path that carabiner took, it wasn't back through LP-7. I've spoken with 2 researchers who have studied Moval Cave extensively, and their perspectives diverge in ways I find deeply unsettling. The first believes the original sonar readings were accurate, that there was a chamber beyond the 36-meter point, and that what we're looking at is an active geological process that no one has previously documented. His theory is that the cave system is, for lack of a better word, moving. That the chemosynthetic processes at work in Moval, the sulfuric acid dissolution, the hydrogen sulfide interactions with limestone, may be reshaping passages on a timescale far faster than anyone believed possible. That the passage was open, and then it wasn't, and that somewhere in the rock, those 6 people are entombed in a space that sealed itself behind them. But that doesn't explain the carabiner appearing 60 meters away through solid stone. The second researcher told me something I haven't been able to stop thinking about. She said that Moval Cave has been a closed system for 5.5 million years. That its atmosphere, its biology, its chemistry have evolved independently from the rest of the planet. And she asked me a question I'm now going to ask you. She said, we accept that this cave produced 35 species that exist nowhere else on Earth. We accept that it developed a complete, self-sustaining biosphere based on chemistry instead of sunlight. We accept that it evolved in ways we never predicted and never fully understand. So why are we so certain we understand its geology? Why are we so certain the rock is doing what we think rock does? She paused. And then she said, we keep treating Moval like it's a cave. Like it's a hole in the ground with some unusual bacteria. But we've never encountered anything like it before. We don't actually know what it is. I don't know what happened to those 6 people. I don't know how a piece of their equipment materialized in a place it cannot be. I don't know what the walls being wrong means. I don't know what gas their instruments detected. I don't know why the passage that was there is no longer there. But I know this. Moval Cave has been evolving in total darkness for longer than humanity has existed. It has produced life that follows rules we didn't know life could follow. It breathes an atmosphere that would kill us. It runs on poison and thrives in the absence of everything we associate with a living world. And somewhere inside it, behind 60 meters of stone that our instruments say has been solid for millions of years, there is a carabiner with a dead person's initials on it. The cave was sealed from our world for 5.5 million years. Maybe it had reasons for that. And maybe, when those 6 people pushed deeper into it than anyone had gone before, they found out what those reasons were. The passage is sealed now. The concrete holds. The research continues under new restrictions. And Moval Cave sits quietly beneath that empty Romanian field, doing whatever it has been doing in the dark since before we were here. What do you think really happened in LP-7? What did they find when the walls went wrong? Leave your theory below, because I've been turning this over for months, and I still don't have one that accounts for everything.